Hey guys, what is up? Hold on, let me get my situation right. Ooh, okay. I thought I had my situation right. What's the matter, honey? You see, I'm going on live now. This ain't the time for all this. Hey guys, what is up? This is Keisha, and welcome back to my channel for today. Okay, so on today, I wanted to talk with you all about something a little bit different, something that had been weighing a little bit heavy on my heart. And I know I had been doing a series on Cain and betrayal and all that kind of stuff, but I wanted to talk about what really has been heavy on my heart, and that is education. Yes, education. And I wrote some notes and stuff down because I want to make sure that I get out everything that I would like to say. Okay. And so if you see me looking down, I'm looking down at my notes. I really have so many things to say. I don't know where to start. So I'll just say it. I'll just start. Um, I'm worried because a lot of the kids today don't know how to read. And that worries me. That gives me a lot more anxiety than I already have. And it's not just certain children. It's not just certain children. It's a lot of them that don't know how to read. And it worries me because I have this saying that everything that is small one day has to grow up and it has to get big. Nothing stays small forever, right? And so I am concerned for them because I feel like once the boomer generation is gone and the silent generation is gone as well, um, it is going to be fair game and it's not going to be good. Okay. Now, um, whew, okay. If y'all hear some noise, then my ghetto neighbors. Okay. I don't know what else to tell you. Then my ghetto neighbors if you hear noise. But my main reason for talking about education today is because there used to be this saying that education is the future, right? And education still is the future. But what influenced that to change is that my generation, I am a older millennial slash Gen X. What influenced this is because my generation, we went and got the education, but then we came into a boatload of debt, right? And many of us graduated and we didn't have um, the career choices were limited. The pay wasn't as good, and you had a lot of people that were majoring in arts, right? And I'm definitely one of those people who major in the arts, and I have 3 degrees. However, education is still important, and I know that a liberal arts degree, hey, it it ain't what it's hidden for. Okay, I get that. I understand it. However, education still is the key. It depends on the type of education that you get. Now, the reason why this concerns me that so many kids have problems reading and cannot read is that how do you expect to go throughout your life and you don't know how to read? You don't know how to write. You don't know how to sign your name. Where are they going to live? Where are they going to stay? Where are they going to work? What are they going to do for their future? It bothers me. Oh, thank you, uh, Brian. I think that's your name, Brian. Thank you. It worries me because where are you going to live? You can't stay nowhere for free. And a lot of them don't know how to handle their emotions. I'm, hey, I'm over the hill and I'm still learning. I have to get help to manage my emotions. I can only imagine when you only been on the planet a few years, right? A handful of years, right? So it concerns me. It really does. And I think that if you have children, if you have, yeah, how will they get a job, right? And I'll say this too much. I'll say this too, Brian. I think that's your name. I'll say this too. What really concerns me is that um who's going to fill out the job application for them? Will they be able to handle conflict? If somebody, will they be able to handle correction? If they manager tell them, hey, you didn't do that right, you need to go back and change this, you need to go back and change that. I feel like that will be a whole conflict. I feel like that will be a whole fight on the job if they were to get a job, Brian. I really do. And I it saddens me. It really saddens me. I looked up a statistic the other day because I was curious. I'm here in Alabama. And so I looked up a statistic about prisons in where I live. And so we are getting a new prison that's supposed to be opening in October. It's gonna be, it's a $1 billion prison. Who's $1 billion? That's a lot of money. Now, granted, to their efforts, they are definitely spending like 10 billion on education, right? So kudos to them for that. However, parents need to raise their children. We can't expect the the teachers to do everything. We can't. I'm gonna share with you all a story. I was at the grocery store and I don't know where I was going, but I just knew I was at the grocery store and the kids were getting out of school. It's an art school right across the street from the grocery store that I was at. And I think that particular school is K through 8. And I was talking to this woman and we were talking about the kids and stuff like that. And it was another cashier that was on another register. She didn't have a customer. And she kind of chimed in on me and the latest conversation who was checking me out. And she said, teachers always want more money. They need to just understand that, investing in children is a labor of love and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, why is it that we spend so much money on the world of entertainment, but then you can't spend a few extra dollars to invest in your school teachers and they teaching your children? I was just perplexed by that. I didn't know what to do with that. I was just really, really surprised that she let that run out of her mouth. And I was just like, ma'am, that's not how it works. I mean, I see what you're saying, but that just doesn't work like that. Teachers deal with so much and they wear so many hats. I said, do you not know that sometimes the teacher is not able to teach the way that he or she may want to because they are dealing with disruptions, behavior issues. They have to be a guidance counselor. They have to be a parent. They have to be a caregiver. They have to be a mother or a father. They have to play so many different roles. And then God forbid, the kids get sick and so they have to be the nurse until, the parents can get there and see about their children. So I'm just like, you have no earthly idea what teachers are going through. They are on the front lines. They are on the battlefield, right? And so it's just like I just couldn't understand how she felt that teachers should be paid less because, oh, you should just do it because it's a job that you should have a passion for. Huh? Teachers do too much for them. Yes, 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 yes. You are right, Brian. You are right. Teachers do a lot for the amount of money that they are getting paid. They need to get paid more money because they have to do so much. And I can be honest with you as somebody who has taught before. People don't talk about the amount of times that educators have to come out of their pockets because they want to make sure that their students have everything that they need, have everything that they need, and then some. They want them to have a good experience during the learning process, and I am very leery about the future for the kids. However, though, I will say they may not want to get a 4-year degree, but at least get a skilled trade. At least get a skilled trade. Trade school is underrated and have been underrated by these here 4-year degrees that leave you in a boatload of debt. In a boatload of debt, right? But a good skilled trade, they say skilled trades, especially plumbers, are projected to make way more than doctors make. Teachers do, uh, hey, Rashid Mitchell, teachers do more per student than a CEO does per investor. Ooh, okay, you dropping gems, Rashid. You dropping gems right now. That is so true. And I just cannot understand for the life of me why would we pay a CEO, these millions and millions of dollars and just okay, let's do this right here, Rashid. What about if like a CEO of a company, right? Let's say, um, let's say like a Whataburger, right? Let's say a restaurant. So you have a CEO of a Whataburger making like, let's say he make like $4 million a year. But then the people in the restaurant, they doing all the hard work. They on the front line. They having to deal with, angry customers or getting cussed out or dogged out or whatever. And they can't even get health insurance. They have to fight for health insurance, right? And I'm just like, why do we do that? even our even our healthcare workers, like we do too much, and not enough at the same time. We will spend more money to pay entertainers to take us away from our problems versus investing in people who can help us minimize our problems or give us a solution to our problems, whether that be a monetary problem, whether that be a medical problem they can help us find a solution to. We don't want to invest in that, but we want to invest in entertainers or what have you, and pay them billions or millions of dollars, right? But here it is, your teachers, your nurses, people in the healthcare field, your ambulance drivers, your police officers, your firefighters. These people are running to danger. These are the people that we were always taught to lean on when there's a problem. But then you can't give them no extra money. I got a problem with that. You spending more money on prisons than anything. And I'm not, and I and hold on, let me be clear about this. I don't have an issue with the people building prisons. You know why? Because I see what's going on in these schools and they need to build prisons, unfortunately, because they're gonna have to have somewhere to put these people. They can't be out here footloose and fancy free amongst the rest of the civilian population. They're gonna have to find somewhere to put these people. I get it. So I'm not tripping about that, but I am tripping about us investing more into our children and helping them to read more. This is the summer, so I would encourage them to read. Go to the public library, check out a book, and help them to read. Right? So I'm not gonna tarry because I can be on my soapbox forever and a day about the state of education. And I probably will do more of that, but my heart was just so heavy with that. My heart was so heavy with that. And I'll talk about in my next video some of the trades. Well, I'll just go ahead and talk about it now. We need plumbers, we need electricians, we need pipe fitters, we need crane operators, we need welders, underwater welders is a big one. My insurance guy told me that his friend makes so much money doing underwater welding that he only has to work 6 months out of the year, right? And so the other 6 months, he just used that time to travel. So those are some of the things that we need. And I looked this up based on a book that I have been reading, um, because the book talks about how much environmental issues and climate issues that we are having. And so we are going to have a lot uh, of bad weather. It's projected to be a lot of bad weather. So with bad weather and storms and earthquakes and, and tsunamis and tornadoes and all of these different things. I live in Alabama, so we are known for being tornado alley. So we have a lot of damage and when we have really bad storms, and so we have rebuilding that has to happen. So we need electricians, we need plumbers, we need pipe fitters, we need people who can rebuild after this stuff comes plummeting down, right? Let me see. I have a comment. Okay, so Rashid said it's upside down in all cases. Hold on 1 second. Let me put my glasses on because I can't see too good. Hold on. All right, it's upside down in all cases simply because of the laws governing businesses are geared to get votes for these government officials who give them a favorable advantage. Oh yeah, that's true. That is true, Rashid. That is so true. Um, you know, politicians for sale, that's not a new thing, that's an old thing, right? People buy politicians all the time, and that is another thing that is an issue, that is a problem. Now I can say this much to that right there, Rashid, is talk to your congress people, talk to your senators and let them know, write them a letter, make an appointment. They are public officials, which means that they work for the public, which means that you have the right to make an appointment and talk to them in person and say, look, hey, I know that this corporation invested a lot of money into you, but I want you to remember that you work for the people. And while you're taking money from them to go on your campaign, make sure that you understand that you work for the people. XYZ element of P. This is what we want. This is what I feel, at least, that is important to me. So it's important that we also make our voices heard on that as well. But politicians being sold and for sale and yeah, and bought, that's not a new concept. They've been doing that for a long time. Since, oh goodness, since the foundations and the conception of this here country. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But I do know that um education is still the key. How you get your education may be different. I'm gonna let you down, okay? How you get your education may be different, right? How you get your education may be different, but all in all, education is still the key. Education is still the key. We might need different types of education, but we need to be working with our children over the summer. We have to be working with them to make sure they are learning to read on grade level. Because if they do not learn to read, if they do not learn to write, if they do not have some level of skill set, they are going to be knocking people in the head come in the future. They're going to be knocking people in the damn head and robbing them. I hate to say that, but I got to put it down there for people to be able to pick it up. Because the old people down here had this saying, if you don't rob, I mean, if you don't work, you will steal. And that's human nature. That's the ugly side of human nature. I don't know if you guys remember that movie. Oh my gosh, The Purge. The Purge. They had, well, it's like 4 or 5 different purges or 3 different purges. And yeah, that's human nature, right, Rashid? That's facts. Yeah. Um, especially when you got kids, you ain't gonna let your kids starve. You'll do whatever it takes for to make sure your children eat, right? And so I see it every day, y'all. I see it. And some of them kids, I just be like, Lord, I want to adopt them children and bring them home and raise them and not give them everything they want, but give them discipline and structure and give them boundaries and help them, you know, because a lot of them are coming from homes where they just, the parents been checked out. They've been checked out. They checked out a long time ago. But anywho, um, I hope that I hadn't worried y'all too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and get off the line, and hopefully I can be able to come back and have more of these discussions because it has really, really bothered me. Um, I have had kids come to me, and it wasn't no small kids that say, yeah, big difference between wants and needs. Yes, it is a huge difference between wants and needs. And I'll tell you this much too, Rashid. There, I I don't, it's like if you have a solution or if you think you have a idea of where to start, put it in the chat. Put it in the chat if you feel like typing it. But sometimes I'm just like, where do we start? And it always for me goes back to the home. It starts at home. Like, home is the first place we learn a lot of different things, right? And so school is where we go. We learn to be social. We socialize with other people and we interact and we grow and we develop and those types of things. But every time I think, where do we start? It starts at home. And it really takes a village. It takes all of us. Like I've babysat cousins, helped raise cousins, and now they're having children and they want me to babysit their children. And it's just like it takes all of us to invest in our kids. And I just do not want for these kids that are small now to grow up and then they feel like they need to see somebody checking for somebody while they're pumping gas and then go knock them in the head and rob them. Like who? No, because one of them beds down here in Governor K. Ivy's new prison is gonna be a place to house one of them, you know, the children when they get bigger. I'm just saying, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and get off, guys, and hopefully I'll be live again soon. And I look forward to seeing you all. And hold on, wait a minute, I got a comment. Let me see. I remember being in a neighborhood where it was a work learning weekend. The people who had jobs did a skills ooh for the kids like that's good. That's good. That's good, Rashid. That's good. I wonder, do they have that now at the YMCA or do they have it at the Boys and Girls Club? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe some of the plumbers in my area do that, but I think they do it down at the Boys and Girls Club. But yeah, that's a great idea. And we definitely need more skilled workers or whatever. We need more skilled laborers. We always need skilled workers. And so there are actually even certain countries. I was telling my cousin because he's HVAC certified. So he does heating and cooling. And so uh, I was telling him that if push come to shove, like if things get really bad in this country, and they will, is yeah, it's America is going to be a fourth world country before it's all over with. Not a third world country, but America is going to be a fourth world country. But I was telling him that since he's married and have children, when it gets too bad, or if it gets bad where you feel like you want to, you know, flee for the safety of your family. His wife is a nurse. He is, like I said, an HVAC repair person. So I said, people in other countries pay you for your skill because they want to work on the infrastructure of their particular countries. And so you can get your passport, get the kids their passport, and you know, get up out of here if necessary. So, but yeah, everybody want a border, but they don't have an idea, baby. They're gonna be trying to jump over the border wall to leave this thing before it's over with. But yeah, that's neither here or there. I don't want to come off as pessimistic, but I'm just being a realist because I'm in these kids with these schools, and I'm working with these kids all the time, of all ages, y'all. And then they be eating Takis for breakfast and hot Cheetos. I'm just like, what? No wonder you can't think straight. No wonder you tired. No wonder you sleeping. No wonder you lethargic. No wonder you don't want to learn because you don't have space to learn, baby. You had hot Cheetos for breakfast and an energy drink. You didn't, when I was growing up, baby, they had grits, eggs, biscuits, sausage, buttered toast, milk, orange juice, like what? And they legit eat hot Cheetos for breakfast. I kid you not. They do. They eat hot. Yeah, like they eat hot Cheetos for breakfast, and I'm like, guys, y'all, that need to be a snack. And so I don't know, but I don't know. And it's so crazy because I was talking to a lady down at the dollar store, and she was telling me, she was like, she said, yeah, some of these moms come up in here and they get nothing but junk. They will spend all of their assistance on junk. Like they won't even, and then they sell like protein and vegetables and fruits, and they sell all of that stuff at the dollar store, but they just get junk. So but yeah, no, they made them trade schools where you have to pay to learn now. These trades were in high school. Oh yeah, yes. It's so funny you said that, Rashid, because um my mom just said the same thing the other day. She was like, "Oh, trades used to be free back in the day. You could you can be in high school and you can do plumbing, welding, cosmetology, nursing. You could do all of that that was back when she used to be in school. Back in the ooh, don't get me the line, 60s, 70s. But yeah, all of those things used to be free back then, but now it's different. But you can easily go to community college. You can go to community college, and hopefully you can go off financial aid. But even that is going to be that's going to cease to exist in the next few years as well. So higher ed, so that they have a lot of changes coming down the pipeline too. And so and I know that, and I usually don't talk politics or anything on my channel, but hi. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, okay, okay. I'm a product of that. She's absolutely correct. Okay, Rashid. Um, and um, I will say that I usually don't talk politics, but these things were coming regardless, guys. And so these changes were coming regardless, no matter who was going to be in charge. So we just have to roll with the punches and be ready. because change is here. It's not happening now. I mean, well, it's happening rapidly. It's happening quickly. So we just have to be able to adjust and get our kids to a sober mind where they too can adjust. Because right now they don't have sober minds, honey. I don't have no sober mind either with some of the junk food that I've been eating. So I said this summer I'm going to yeah, like eat a whole bunch of fruits and vegetables for the summer and not eat so much junk food because when you are on the go, you know, when you're pressed for time, you tend to eat what is quick, you know? And so that's what we did throughout the school year and that's what we do. So I'm just going to do my best to not do all of that this summer and just kind of give myself a break, give my stomach a break, and give my brain a break so I can be clear headed and clear minded, so I can start helping these kids meet some of their goals. Hmm. You right, Rashid. You are absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct. I found out everything is political, even deciding what you're going to eat. It is. It is. And don't be afraid. Oh yeah. Yeah. You right, Rashid. And I'll say this right here. Um, I'm so fortunate that okay, you said that everything is political, even deciding what you're going to eat. Okay. So um a lot of like we just got through talking about tacos for breakfast and energy drinks. But a lot of this food ain't even real. Like I literally have to fight to um what's the matter, baby? You got to go out. I'm finna wrap up. I'm almost through, okay? Give me 2 more minutes. A lot of the food is not even real food, y'all. Like I had to fight the other day to try to get this great big old watermelon. It's a seeded watermelon. But I try to get me fruits like with seeds or whatever, but it's kind of hard to find. But I've been going to my local farmers market. I went on Tuesday and I told the farmer that I normally deal with, I told him like I'm gonna be buying stuff from you once or twice a week to try to stock up my deep freezer because yeah, winter is coming. Winter is coming. And I think each winter is going to get more and more difficult to find real food. GMOs have taken over. Gotta be select. Yeah, they have. They have. And I'll tell you this much too, Rashid. I remember my stomach doctor telling me that anytime you eat a lot of processed foods, you have to drink a lot of water. You have to drink a lot of water because if you don't, that stuff will stick around in your belly and it would just stay there. And um that is what contributes to a lot of different diseases, and it can eventually turns cancerous once it goes through that toxic level or whatever. But she's from I think India or Pakistan or something like that. But she's a very knowledgeable lady. So, but yeah, um, GMOs are and a lot of the food. And I will say too, a lot of the food have a lot of extra vitamins and stuff in there. They have a lot of fortified, you'll see something like uh with added minerals and vitamins and stuff like that. But if the food is natural, if the food is healthy for you, why you got to add all those vitamins and minerals in there anyway? Um, so yeah, like, oh yeah. We And we have an obesity problem in this country. Yes, we do. We have a huge obesity problem in this country. And I used to be fluffy, believe it or not. I used to be good and fluffy. But because I had a lot of health issues. My weight up and down and fluctuates. But yeah, um, my diet was not the best. I ate the standard American diet, and it just, oh, I think about it now, and it just, mm-mm. So yeah, my aunt told me the other day. I asked her like, "What are you eating for dinner?" And she said that she had went to the produce place to go get some squash, and she was gonna eat like squash and tomatoes. I was like, "So are you gonna eat any protein, like any meat?" She was like, "Baby, all this meat they selling us is fake." And she said, "I've been on the earth long enough to tell what's real and fake, and I don't." She said, "I eat it every now and then, but," and she is a chef. I'm like, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make it up. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off. My dog is going crazy, so I believe he has to use the restroom. And I'm going to see about him. All right, I'll see y'all in the next one. All right, bye bye.